Lee as a child meeting Lita or Edge at 19 years old, asking her idol Bret Hart a question on a television show. They're just some of the deja vu moments that life sometimes has. Who would have known that these people would become really famous wrestlers who would even get to work with their own idols? That's why I'll stop talking now, and today I'll present to you fans who became WWE wrestlers. Before becoming the tribal chief, Roman Reigns literally made the legends acknowledge him. First, we have the most adorable couple in wrestling, Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, who posed with a young Roman Reigns. The little tribal chief, he was clearly very sleepy. But Macho Man isn't the only wrestling legend to acknowledge Roman Reigns. Here's a picture of Hulk Hogan holding a young Roman with his father, the future big dog. He was just a little pup at that time, a beautiful photograph, which, by the way, must still remain in Roman's memory. As you can see, Roman Reigns was born to be in this business. When you have baby pictures with Hulk Hogan and your family tree is part of the Anoa'i dynasty, you really are made for this. But Roman wasn't the only one ready to become an icon. Randy Orton also had an advantage. There's a classic photo of Randy as a kid smiling with Hulk Hogan. Decades later, they faced off in an epic match at the 2006 SummerSlam. Bayley and Sasha Banks always said they were lifelong WWE fans, and they have proof to show it. Look at Bayley with Bret the Hitman Hart, or this photo with John Cena himself. To me, this is the cutest photo. Bayley meeting Edge and Victoria, and then posing with them in 2021 after the Royal Rumble, where Bayley claimed that she was the real winner of the Rumble. Well, she had recreated a photo with her idols, although this time working with them, but the best photo is Bayley hugging Matt Hardy. Later, she would say that this photo was questioned a lot throughout her summer, and that her boyfriend at the time left her. Because of that, she wasn't sure if it was out of jealousy or because she was a weirdo because she liked it. WWE, but she thinks it's probably because of both things. However, she's not the only one. Sasha Banks met John Cena and took a photo with the Big Red Machine, Kane. Then you have this picture with the Bella twins. As you can see, they weren't casual fans, they were true hardcore WWE fans. And that's the good kind of obsession that can turn your dreams into reality. They went from asking for a photo to sharing a locker room with all these people. Maybe it's not the best photo, but here we have a young Ricochet meeting Triple H in 2001. It wasn't a great first impression, but he was hired by Triple H years later anyway and found success in WWE. We move from Triple H to his wife, Stephanie McMahon, who appears in many photos with Andre the Giant. Was he one of Vince McMahon's closest friends? So Andre was basically Stephanie's giant uncle. Also, check out this great photo of Stephanie McMahon with Hulk Hogan from her childhood. Speaking of uncles, Braun Breaker's uncle is the legendary Scott Steiner. Here's a photo of him. More than 20 years ago, Rated RKO were absolute villains. If you were a kid watching WWE around 2006-2007, you probably hated them too. However, that wasn't the case for NGF. Here's a picture of him with the two heels. No, any kid in those years would stand next to Edge and Randy Orton with that happy face. Young NGF also met his hero, CM Punk All Elite Wrestling, and turned this old photo into a story. Before NGF met Punk, Punk was meeting his own childhood hero, Stone Cold Steve Austin. There are two pretty rare photos of Punk with Austin. It's amazing to see them together years before they crossed paths, working together on television in WWE. Continuing with CM Punk, here's a surprising moment involving his wife and his ex. Life sometimes has a funny way of aligning people at the exact moment they need each other. Before anyone knew her as a champion, Jade Lee was just a teenager with trembling hands standing in front of her idol. You can hear her struggling to breathe. You can see the tears starting to fall down her face, and it's one of the most touching interactions. Later, Lita developed a strong hatred for AJ Lee, claiming she took her boyfriend, though AJ Lee said they were already separated. But one thing is clear, and that's the fact that AJ Lee was always connected to WWE and CM Punk in some way. And then AJ Lee does what the two great heroes do, she becomes someone else's Lita. And years later, Roxanne Perez met AJ Lee, and you can see in her eyes the same mix of nerves and emotions. But it doesn't stop there. We also have Roxanne Perez, but this time with Natalya, where she was caught on camera by Total Divas asking the wrestler how to make her dream of becoming a wrestler come true. And Natalya, here's what she said. I like people who don't give up.
You know?
And do you have any advice or something?
I keep working on little things every day. It's simple. Keep going and building.
Roxanne Perez, she took this seriously, started training, started working hard, and eventually signed with WWE. After all her hard work, she stood by the ring with the same woman who encouraged her. The inspiring words of Natalya helped Roxanne Perez achieve her dream. Bret Hart has always been an inspiration to many. We can see this young Edge, only 19 years old, asking Bret Hart how to sign with WWE in 1992. Bret Hart told him that the first thing he had to do was get televised matches for any company, since almost any place where you can appear on television was a real advantage. That advice worked because Edge would officially join WWE 6 years later in 1998, speaking of Edge. You know what they say, everything comes back around. And the same thing would happen to him when he met this little Johnny Gargano, and that fan would eventually join WWE decades later. Cora Jade is one of Roxanne Perez's most loyal friends. She was a girl from Chicago with a CM Punk poster on her wall, hoping to have the same impact as her hero. When she got to meet her idol, it was truly something exciting. Because for some people, wrestling isn't just an escape. That's all.
Why are you crying? No, that's sweet of you. But I don't like when women cry. It's too much, it's just too good.
She bought your new t-shirt. Now she's never gonna wash it.
Well, you should wash it. If it gets dirty, just wash it.
Then her father stepped in, not to steal the moment, but to voice what everyone was thinking. He told her that she has been a great role model for his daughter. This is what wrestling does. For me, it has changed my life greatly. Thanks to each one of you who follow my channel, we are celebrating 10 years in 2025. I also want to thank the loyal subscribers who are following my secondary channel where we talk about wrestling. In addition, I will soon be making vlogs from Survivor Series 2025. If you've made it this far, you're a loyal subscriber and deserve to know I'll be recording a video soon. In the house where Chris Benoit and his family were last seen alive. I don't want to give away any more, but just subscribe to my secondary channel, which will be in the description or at the end of this video.